All right, I want to do a quick little video on hexadecimal color codes. We've talked about them a little bit, but we've never really explained how they work. I'm just going to do a little independent video only about that. So we've seen in our CSS where we can assign a color to fonts or assign a color to backgrounds, and we use names like black or green or white or whatever colors we wanted to have. But that's pretty limiting. There are millions of colors available to us. So how do we pick those colors? So I found a little utility here on the internet that has an Rgb slider. So what does RGB mean? Red, green, and blue. So all of our colors can be determined by the amount of red in the color, the amount of green in the color, and the amount of blue in the color. This is for light. So let's take a look. If I turn this red slider up, I start to get more red in the square, right? So if I look over here, RGB, it specifies red is the first color, green is the second color, and blue is the third. And the numbers are based on a byte. A byte is 8 bits and can hold numbers up to 255. So at 255, I have full amount of red in there. Now, if I don't work in decimal and I work in hexadecimal, and we'll learn how to convert these later, 255 in hexadecimal is FF. So our numbers can are arranged in pairs. The first pair is the amount of red, the second pair is the amount of green, and the third pair is the amount of blue. And we can do those between 0, 0, 1, 0, 2, 0, 3, 0, 4, but we also use letters in there. So hexadecimal goes up to 16. Once we get to 9, then 10 is A, 11 is B, 12 is C. But all you need to really know is that FF is all the way turned up and 00 is all the way down, and everything else is in between. So let me go down here in between. So this one, red value is 157 in decimal, but in hexadecimal, that's 9D. Okay. And I can keep reducing that. 144 in decimal is 90 in hexadecimal. And I can turn down the amount of red. Let's turn up green. Green all the way on. So the middle pair is now at FF or 255. Hex codes FF. So each of these pairs tells us how much red, how much green, and how much blue we want. So if I turn up red and blue, you probably already know what happens when you mix red with blue. You get a purple. And I can get different shades of that purple by playing with this. If I want a darker purple, maybe I turn the red down a little bit. So I have maxed out blue at 255 and red at 111. In hex codes, that is 6F and FF. My red pair is turned up about halfway. My blue pair is turned up all the way to FF, and I get a purple out. What about red and green? That gives me like a lime. Red and green together give me yellow. So yellow is FF, FF, 00. It has no blue in it, but it has full on red and green. And I can get all kinds of colors varying in between. So anytime you want a custom color, there are lots of places to go on the internet to try and pick colors. And if we go back to the tool that I showed you for colors, the color scheme designer, look at that. This was the tool we used, and we said we could use this to pick colors. When we pick our color schemes, I want a color scheme based on purple maybe, and it comes over here, gives me examples. Here's a light page with color schemes. dark page with that color scheme. But I can also get, I believe it's on over here, I can look and see those color codes. So this light purple is 887CAF. This dark purple is 13073A for the color codes. It also breaks them down into RGB for me, but the first row here is the hex codes. So I can use those hex codes in my CSS to specify the exact colors I want. I thought there was another place where it would palette. Nope. Or it'd give us a little bit more easy breakdown. So if I want to go to a 3-color color scheme and adjust my colors over here, and look, if I hover over these, it will tell me for each of those colors that's an E79AAF. This red is a 74132D. So I can use the hashtag followed by those codes to do a custom color if I don't want to use one of the named colors in CSS.